Well guys, the eagle-eyed amongst you will have spotted that this is not our boat. This is my shed. And the reason that I'm not on the boat is because part of the boat is here in the shed. Tell you about that in a minute. Well guys, welcome once again to the Driftwood Bilge. The situation is our Ergospacher diesel heater that heats hot water for the radiators, that has kind of packed in on us. And a few months back I picked up one of these diesel heaters that you can buy online. They're very, very cheap. I picked one up. I actually had earmarked it to do a different job, not to put it on the boat at all. But when the diesel heater packed in, I says I'll stick it here. And there's a few things that I've changed on it, because these yokes are designed to go into camper vans or into caravans or such like. They're not designed for boats, and there's an awful lot of jiggery pokery to be done to one to make it fit into a boat. These heaters are designed to be used on the likes of camper vans and caravans and vehicles rather than in boats. There's a few extra bits and pieces I bought. One of them is this fella here. This is the skin fitting. And believe it or not, you're lucky if you can get one of those on the internet for around 50 quid. So it's about half the price of the heater just to get the skin fitting. The other thing I got was an awful lot more exhaust pipe, because exhaust pipe comes out the bottom of the heater, and that's ideal if you're in a vehicle, but not ideal if you're on a boat. So you have to run your exhaust, bring it up, and it has to be over the water line. And that brings up another difficulty, and that is that these exhaust pipes get very, very hot. There's a fire risk, there's a chance they could burn wires or anything they come in contact with. So another thing I picked up online was this stuff. This is it's a heat jacket that you can wrap all around the exhaust pipe, and I got a 10-meter roll of that. And if you're buying that stuff, some of them will come with a whole load of these. These are little steel cable ties to tie it onto the hose, and that'll hopefully keep it all safe and stop it burning anything down in the boat. And another thing I had to buy is these. The heater comes with 4 of these extension pipes. These are for the hot air to pass through, and they stretch out to about 1 meter long, and the heater I got came with 4 of them. I bought an extra 4 again, even though there is actually some heating pipe still in the boat from an old gas heating system that used to be in it when we first bought it. So it went from, I think we paid about 100 euros for the heater initially, and that went up and up and up. So it's quite a bit, and I still haven't finished doing it yet. But I think the main thing, the other thing I should tell you about is the Jubilee clips, or the hose clips that come with these, they're really a cheap alloy hose clip, and they're fine, I suppose, for most jobs. But on a boat, I don't like using them for 2 reasons. First of all, they'll rust, and in 3 or 4 years time when you go to take that off, it'll be very hard to get it to open. And because the other thing is they're a very soft metal. And I remember when I first started boating, there was an old shipwright said to me that anytime you're going out to buy nuts, bolts, washers, screws, hose clips, or any of those small little items for a boat, just always buy more than you need. And he used to say, buy one for the bilge, because as true as night follows day, you go to put that on, it's going to fall, go into the bilge, and it'll disappear into another world, and you'll never ever see it again. But as a result of doing that, I built up a bit of a collection of the likes of stainless steel hose clips. So I'm going to try and use stainless steel hose clips on this, especially on the likes of the exhaust, because they're going to be exposed to heat. Stainless steel is a much harder metal than this alloy, so I can tighten them down really good and tight. So that's the next mission, is to try and get this fitted to the boat. So guys, this is an Ergospacher Hydronic D10 water heater. This heats all our radiators throughout the boat, and it has served us flawlessly for years and years and years, until one day in December. So when the day came that we turned this on and nothing happened, I dug it out, and to be honest with you, I was about to put it into the bin. I was giving up with it. I didn't think there was anything that I'd be able to do with it. But luckily, a mate of mine, Carl, who lives up in Carrick-on-Shannon, he knows a good bit about these yokes, and he said, no, it's a bulletproof heater. There's nothing go wrong with that. So we chucked the heater into the car, and up I went to Carrick, and we stripped it down. And I'd never opened one of these yokes before, but I have to say, even though this yoke has been used, I'd say probably once a month, at least once a month, every month for the past 8 or 10 years. When you open it up, nothing was seized up inside of it. All the screws opened grand and easy. Like it's a good quality piece of kit, these Ergospacher things are. They really are. But we quickly diagnosed that the problem with this was that the glow plug had died in it. So apparently the way these things work is there's a little box on the top of it. They call it the brain box. And when you turn on the Ergospacher heater, it sends out a couple of tests. One of the things it tests is the glow plug, another thing it tests is the water pump, and I don't know what else it tests, but probably other bits and pieces as well. And if it doesn't get positive feedback from them, nothing happens. So we bundled it all into a box and brought it back home, and unfortunately then the lockdown hit, so I couldn't get back up to Carl. But I went and ordered the glow plug for it, and on the kitchen table I stuck the glow plug into it. So now I have it set up here on my bench, and I have a nice big powerful battery bank there, and just tilt that down, you can see it. But I also have here, I've a tank of 20 litres of cold water, and I have it plumbed through that because you can't run these kits dry. And this is a wonderful moment. I know it's going to work because I had it running a few moments ago, but I'm just going to flick it on here and show you. Right, so here we are, equipped with our new glow plug and a few gaskets and bits and pieces, and I have over here I have a jerry can of diesel. There's the fuel pump. You'll hear that going tick, 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 tick in a few moments. That's a lovely sound after you've been working on this to hear it actually working. So here we go. Here's the on switch being flicked. That's the pump working away. So at this stage now, what should be happening is the glow plug should be coming on, and that'll be heating up. And once that reaches temperature, our little diesel pump here should start pumping. Oh yeah. Pumping in the diesel. You'll hear it ignite now shortly. It only takes this unit about 20 minutes to have those 20 litres of water fully heated up. So when I change the glow plugs, I change a couple of gaskets and other few bits and pieces inside it. So the way this unit works is the water is sucked in the bottom and the hot water comes out the top. In this case, it's just going to go around back into the container. Then through that hose, through all those, don't mind all that horrible wiring, and cold water goes back in this end here. When this broke down initially, I started to fit one of these Chinese diesel heaters to the boat, and it's a bigger job than I'd expected. It was a hot air heater. It was one that I had bought for another job, and I just hadn't got around to fitting it. But fitting it on a boat is not quite an easy task. But I did get it fitted. I did get it started, I should say. And at the time, I didn't realise that with Carl's help, I was going to get this heater back up and running. So now I'm going to take out that the hot air heater. I can reuse that. It's just in a workshop here. I'm going to set it up there. Just set up a 240 volt to 12 volt transformer to kick it off, and that'll do for heating my little workshop.
For our mental health, I think we need to get out and walk. And I've been actually out walking every day. Very proud of myself. I'm doing 100 days of walking with Ciara Kelly. Ciara Kelly is a presenter on News Talk. It's a national television here, or radio station here in Ireland, and she's doing a challenge, 100 days of walking, and I took the challenge up and I'm nearly finished. I'm doing well, but it's good for the mental health to get out, because with this COVID, it's just, I don't think it's going to go away. Can't get to the boat, can't see our sons, can't see our grandchildren, so it is hard. And I know we're not alone, an awful lot of people are in the same situation. So all I'd say is stay safe.
The other massive exciting things we did in our lives, we went down to Roscommon Town to the chemist to get our prescription filled the other day.
We're really getting old when we have to go and get prescriptions filled every month.
But I think worse than that, I think we actually got dressed up to go and get it done, which
It was a day out.
showed how sad our lives have become. But while we were waiting to collect the prescription, we took advantage of the opportunity to take a walk around Roscommon Castle, and we brought you with us, so have a look and see what you think.
Well, guys, this is another blog. I know it's not really a boating blog, but it was just a little bit
Yeah.
of our lives in the past couple of months. So
It's difficult at the moment to make boating vlogs, but hopefully we'll get back out there on the water shortly, and when we do, we'll bring you pictures. Thanks for watching.
cheerio.